Hi everyone, Gerone Wright here again with another one of my videos. For those of you that just are joining, I have been consistently decoding our world's ancient past through to current. It is my position that we were created um, through celestial masses that are out there in our solar system, and there in this gas matter there is intelligent life forms, and that where stars are supposed to be being created in nebula masses, there's actually life being created, gas matter um, being created, and like different, like a cocktail of life form put inside. Um, as the matter slows down and hardens, it starts to become solidified. It is directed towards planets. It's pretty much that much in a nutshell. Okay. What I have found in finding that there's a record of it here in our world. It's in Christianity. It's in ancient Mayan. It's in ancient Samoan. It's in ancient Anunnaki. It's in ancient Egyptian. It's in ancient China. The information has always been known, and it's been glorified in a way as far as gods and angels. All right. People, the ones that are hardcore believers in this, I just want to let you know this, that and in all reason and rationale, that um, you know that if anything, think of our planet and its protective atmospheric layers as your eyeball. Okay. Um, that's the only way to look at it. Look at it as being as your eyeball. If something comes into, compromises or breaches the larynx of your eyeball, what happens? There's devastation. Okay. Um, there's infection. There's possibly death. You get the picture, people. Um, Again, look at what you know. What? Let me deviate from what I'm doing here for a minute with the Lord called Tunelit. Another thing. Look at, now that I'm on that topic, because I wanted to speak about that anyway. Look at what NASA is doing by breaching our atmospheric layering going out. Imagine there being sophisticated life forms inside of your head, and they learn that they can go out of your, exit your eye into the world that we are in. They leave your eye on a periodic basis via spacecraft, fly out of your eye into the world of Earth, into Earth's world, existing space where we are at right now, and then fly back in at will. Eventually, what do you think is going to happen to your eye? Okay, people, these are two different ways and examples of looking at what is happening. Um, and I just want to, and I started off in this conversation to show people that is the hardcore believers in these life forms coming to our world in the form of angels. They are not angels, people. What they are they are seeds, they are pods, they are coming into our world and periodically reseeding our world, and the life forms that are there are destroyed. Um, and or affected in a way that, I mean, they wish they were destroyed. People, it's time for us to start waking up and start realizing what's going on. And it's our fear, or your fear, because I don't fear anything that actually threatens me with destruction. And if you don't do this, you don't do that. I mean, that's enslavement, not just of the mind, your soul, and your spirit. You know what I mean? If I mean, it's just no way the other way to look at it without going in a greater detail. But anyway, I'm here. I'm gonna just show you. I'm gonna give you another example of how this is my, I think, my 50-second video here on YouTube, my Geronification channel, and or either Gerone Wright, if you Google my name, and you have to get it spelled right. Two people is Geron, as in Nancy, Wright, Wright. too. This image here, Lord Pakal Tumlet, became real famous because ancient alien theorists have the world believing through its popular thing about the lid, that has the world believing that this lid is that of a vessel, a space vessel, created by Pakal to fly off into space. And I'm telling you that that is profoundly wrong. Okay, and I have disproven them. Not just when I'm not just going to disprove them here, but I have disproven them in 3 of my other videos, which references the baptism of Christ by Gelder, where they see a UFO object in the background. I have identified that as a celestial mass, and have broken down various creatures that are depicted in that mass. You can see my video here. The baby Giovanni with the Madonna, with that celestial mass in the background, have broken that down as that not being a UFO, but yet another celestial mass, and have broken down the creatures in that celestial mass, and in that depiction that the ancient alien theorist wants us to believe was a UFO. So that's number 2. And then with the miracle of snow, depicting a pope holding which appears to be a white substance of snow on the ground. I have broken that down and just recently released a video on that just last week, and showing that they are not UFO objects. They are identifying objects. They are seeds that are sent from outside of our world into our world, and life is therefore created, which ultimately becomes that of mankind. And that the Vatican is manipulating these genetics currently, as was the purpose for the seeds being sent here in the first place. Okay, it's just that simple, people. Now, watch how I explain this to you and break it down in such a simple form that, you'll be like, well, how come I never seen that before? Or how come? Because you're blinded by traditional science, traditional religion, and by your fear of seeing the truth, or being ridiculed for seeing the truth, and no one believing what you're seeing. You don't believe in yourself, and that's why you don't see the truth in none of these. All of these ancient glyphs, petroglyphs, they all have a message, and it's telling us all the same thing. Hey, we're here. This is how we were created. This is where we came from. This is the way it is. Look at the pictures. People, the pictures does not lie. You know what I mean? Look at them. They're all instructing us of the same thing. This shows you how those that wanted to deceive us did such a remarkable job that even when the truth is right before you, you reject it and don't want to see it. Your fear of thinking out of the box, because of all of the distortion that actually has put in your mind prior up into the point of you seeing these things, is what keeps you. It inhibits you from seeing what is actually there. Now, all right. With no further ado, let me get to the point here, because I like making these videos because it exhibits that I do have a true paranormal experience and encounter, and that when I see things and obtain the understanding therefrom, that I can not only bring it to you, I can explain it to you, and I can show you exactly what's there. Now, this is Lord Pakal, way before my time, people, way before my time. But check this out. I'm going to get here and I'm going to show you something. And where we at here with Lord Pakal? Because I actually see something else here. But anyway, let's start at the top. Well, first of all, let me tell you what this is. Okay, this is not no flying spaceship, as Eric Van Daniken and the ancient alien theorists want you to believe. What this is showing you and depicting is genetic manipulation and a cross-referencing of genetics with mankind and creatures. In every single scenario such as this, no matter what the culture or civilization, it is actually saying the same exact thing. Now, the tomblet of Lord Pakal. Let's begin up here. Here, I'm at the beak. I'm not going to do it all. I'm just going to show you. There's the beak of a bird. I'm at the hole in the bird's beak, the nostril. There's the eye of the bird, and here's the bird's head, and here's the feathers. I'm not going to do the whole bird because it'll take too much time, people. I'm at the forehead of the bird right there, right now. See the bird right there, people? Okay. Here's the bird body right there. The bird is roosting on this object right here, which I'll identify in one moment. Now, not only is there a bird there, but it shows you a creature, and I'm at the mouth, people. I'm at the bottom lip. That is where the bird's feet belong at. I'm at an eye right here. You see the eye. I'm at the bottom of the eyelid. See that, people? Look at this. That was the left eye. Here is the right eye. Look how here's the snout, the nose of that creature, and then there's a bunch of feathers that is actually coming out, which is actually this is in the body of the main bird here. Here's the main bird here. Here's the neck of the main bird right there. Now look at that, people. Can you see that? That creature I just draw there. See that face? How I just created that face? And here's the back of the head here. Now, it is my position that this is why Native Americans wear headdresses. You know why? Because they're signifying a mutation between bird and mankind that a creature evolved from. Here you have a bird. There you have a creature with that in likeness of a human. Well, if you want to call it a human, a mutation of a bird in the sense of a human. And it shows you that this creature evolved from the bird. It's showing you right there. So, let's come to this object right here, which brings me to this object right here. People, how foolish can we be? I'm going to come straight down. There's a column coming straight down, and then there's a column coming straight across, like this here. People, it creates a cross. There was a cross-reference of genetics. As Lord Pakal at the bottom here. There was a cross-reference of genetics, people. A cross-reference of genetics. I'm the first person that has ever stated in my videos and in my findings and all my discoveries, which there are many I have, that the cross truly represents Christians don't even know what the cross means. I think I heard one place where they said it was better not to ask and just to believe or something like that. That's bullcrap. The cross represents the cross-referencing of genetics. The Vatican is at the center of it. Okay? That's what the cross means. The cross-referencing of genetics, just as I'm showing you here, and everything that I do, the symbolization remains the same. It's the cross-referencing of genetics. Birds, creatures up here. There's a face right there with feathers coming out of it, showing you that this creature evolved from the bird. Okay, just like in everything else and everything ancient that you see, whether it's modern, you see the birds and you see the snakes. Which brings me down to what else is being cross-referenced here. Well, it's obvious. Right here. You look at this looping over the cross. And on each end, you have a head. The head of a serpent. I'm at the eye right there of one. Let me see if I can draw some of this in for you so you can get an idea. Here's the upper mouth of the one serpent. These would be the would-be teeth here. Okay, there's the eye there, and here is the bottom portion of the mouth right there. And then this would be the jaw portion. Can you get that, people, right there? Okay. So the serpent comes around, and it's a two-headed serpent. Two people, by the way. Comes around, and it comes to this side, and there's the bottom jaw, the would-be teeth right there, and the open mouth of this serpent over here. Okay, which shows you the cross-referencing of these genetics, which calls for Lord Pakal. Now, how come no one never has seen that or said that before besides me? I'm making all of these proposals about how mankind came to be, where he came from, celestial life forms, alien life forms, and in doing so, ancient artifacts are being explained away by me as if they're children coloring books. I'm going to ask you something, people. What makes more sense? Ancient alien theorists position that this is a flying spaceship, or what I just said to you, that this is a cross-referencing of genetics and showing you the creatures? You know what makes more sense to you? I can answer that for you, and I'm not being arrogant, and I'm not being sarcastic, people. I'm just being straight and direct and forward to the point. What makes more sense is what I just told you, doesn't it? Because it's the truth. The truth always prevails in situations where there is misunderstanding and lies. The truth always prevails. And this is why I can show you these things. Now, there's other things. There's a woman, a witch-like woman, in each mouth on each side of this. And it shows you how these genetics ultimately go up into there. There's an ape there and a woman. But you don't see it because you don't know what the image is. Because I can sit there and draw them for you. I can draw you a woman here, a witch-like woman who is the mother of creation, who is always appearing with the image of ape, primitive ape. I can give it to you here, and her likeness, and showing you how it's showing that this was the becoming of Lord Pakal. And this is what Lord Pakal was symbolizing, placing on his tomb lid. So he's saying, hey, I am Lord Pakal, and this is how I was created. These are my genetics. This is what this is all about, people. This is what our existence is about. The preservation, the manipulation, and the ongoing continuation of the recycling of mankind's genetics. And it's being done today. I'm going to stop this video here because I don't need to go on any longer. I think I got right to the point with what I needed to actually have to say. But people, the story is always the same. It's about birds, it's about snakes, it's about apes, and it's about man and woman. It shows us these different cultures and different civilizations, different parts of our world. There's different creatures at the top, because there are different genetics that were actually, different paths of genetics that were actually manipulated to create different forms of mankind. And this is where the difference actually comes in at. Almost the same principles and chemistries, different creatures, which evolved from different periods, but from the same creatures, the same prehistoric creatures. It's like there were interventions at certain levels with these creatures, and this is where we came from. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video there, and I'm gonna do another video. I'm gonna get this video here posted, and people, the story is always the same. Now you can look at this and read this and understand what actually is going on here. Okay, but the story is always the same. You know, it's always the same. I can show you faces up in here that you wouldn't otherwise ever have seen before. I can show you a mouth there, chin. I can show you an eye there. You know what I mean? Come around to the hair. And, you know, I can show you things that you cannot otherwise see. And this is where our likenesses, let me see if I can bring that up from. That's where our likenesses in Native America actually come from today, because their ancestors were part bird genetically and part mankind. So the symbols, the headdresses of the Indians and Native Americans are that of their ancestors, who actually had feathers. They didn't have to wear headdresses because they had the real thing. And this is what it's all about, people. All of these myths, everything which I never believed before, but they're there, and it makes sense, because just like I did with Angkor Wat in a video I just released, and all, how they shown the manipulation of the genetics of the ancient turtle, and how they was cross-referenced with man. The same exact thing, people. It shows you how it was done. It shows you the process, and it shows you what evolved there from. You know, it's just that simple. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hammer this thing away. I'm gonna hammer it home until I'm famous for making the discovery, and we all understand who we are. There is a real peace of mind and a serenity in knowing where you came from, how you were created, why you behave the way you do, and what possibilities and cures that you can actually turn to. People knew this. Da Vinci, Michelangelo, let's take Sir Isaac Newton. People in science, people in medicine, they knew this. You know what I mean? People that's coming out with new inventions and stuff. And these people are capitalizing off their knowledge of knowing where you didn't, and then marketing it to you. You know what I mean? There's cures for cancers, cures for different ailments that our bodies have that they don't want to release because they don't want the masses of people to know it. I mean, people, you have these people, you might say, well, Jerome, you're stretching it. Well, why wouldn't they tell you about this? And here I am, Jerome is telling you about this. And Jerome is saying, hey, there are cures for different things. I'm telling you that there's cures for cancers just by reading this. I'm not even a doctor. I'm not even a scientist. But I can tell you that most ailments that we have today could be avoided and could be cured, because you know, if you know how to read this, you know where the cures are at. And this is what Leonardo da Vinci. Oh no, I'm sorry, Nostradamus, Leonardo da Vinci. These people, the Vatican, doctors that are affiliated and associated with these people, they knew it. They knew it. And they still know it. I'm telling you that there's a cure for cancer. And I know what it is. There's a cure for most ailments that our bodies that we have. Even aging. And I know what they are. I can tell you where ape came from. People, look at this. There's a bird right here roosting, and in the bird's body there's a face of a being that was created. I'm at the ear of it now. Look at the face, look at the mouth, look at the nose. The face of the bird is here, and look at the feathers of the bird's body creating the hair of this being right here. People, you've never seen that before. I'm showing that to you now. And then there's another face showing you how they evolved down. There's the face of a woman. And on a cross-referencing, there's a reptile coming across. A serpent rather, coming across, which represents the reptile. People, what in the hell is there not to see here? Cross-referencing of genetics. I'm out. I'm going to leave you with that. My name is Gerone Wright. This is my Geronification channel.